So we just got 6 new preview images for episode 10 of One Punch Man season 3, and also not to forget the official synopsis of the episode itself. And while looking at these 6 new preview images, I would say I don't think the quality will continue on from what we got for the last 2 weeks. Yes, obviously episode 8 and episode 9 in comparison with the other 7 is pretty much day and night. Well, it is not a sudden jump to Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 episode 17 type of animation level, but the difference is clearly there. They have been pretty much prioritized episode 8 and episode 9 while unfortunately sacrificing all the other 7. Again, I'm pretty sure everyone can now see what they're capable of even under such a hellish production condition. But if I need to speculate, I don't think episode 10 will have anything that is near the quality of episode 8 and episode 9. Again, not looking at this preview images itself, but at the same time, my speculation does not determine how the episode will look, so it's just again a speculation. I mean, like, we got 2 straight back-to-back pretty good episode 8 and episode 9, both episodes being, well, I would argue above 5 out of 10 or even 7 out of 10 rating, which unfortunately doesn't really happen in the actual IMDb website. A lot of people are still review bombing the episode, which again, immature. Again, I still don't understand why do people really care about the rating, but whatever. Personally, I would rate both episodes 7 out of 10 or even 8 out of 10 if I'm being generous. But at the same time, both episode 8 and episode 9 itself, the quality of both of the episodes isn't impossible to reach again for this episode, but again, it's just a hunch because we got 2 episodes back to back that made me feel like, wait, this episode might actually going to be outsourced or some kind. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual official synopsis of the episode itself. So here it is, the official synopsis of episode 10. Zombie man faces off against a vampire, a blood-sucking man with supernatural powers inherited from generations past. A bloody, mud-sucking battle between zombie man, who is immortal no matter how fatal the injury, and the vampire who can heal any injury by sucking blood begins. So looking at the actual synopsis itself, I'm pretty positive that they will be adapting chapter 100, which is the zombie man chapter against pure blood, which is the vampire. And also considering the fact that there's these preview images that they have revealed, pretty much going to be covering chapter 101 as well, but I'm not sure how far they'll be adapting it. Again, I'm not sure how fast the fight sequences will be in this episode. Maybe they'll be covering both chapters in the episode as well. That is pretty much possible in this case. Again, it's pretty fun to look at both immortal being fighting against each other. I mean, like, I'm not sure if pure blood, the vampire, is actually immortal considering the fact that he can heal by sucking blood. Again, I didn't really read the entirety of the chapter. I just skimmed through it to actually find the manga panels for the sake of comparing the manga panels to the preview images. But yes, I would love to watch the episode itself and actually understand the context of it in the anime form because, well, I prefer it that way, I guess. But yes, everyone, my guess in this episode will probably going to be the entirety of the zombie man chapter will get adapted, and probably up until Amaimas appears, that will probably going to be the end of the episode, I guess. I'm not entirely sure about this. Please do let me know what you guys think about it. But yes, everyone, with that being said, let's actually take a look at episode 10 preview images itself. Alright, so for the first preview image, we got this shot of zombie man firing his gun. Again, the overall environment looks pretty dark, pretty eerie, and I would say this is definitely a look that I'm looking forward to, considering the fact that it is a fight between 2 immortal beings, and also the fact that it is zombie man versus a literal vampire. This looks pretty cool. Next up, we got the vampire himself, pure blood. I personally don't really like how there's no background behind him, but let's talk about it in detail in a bit. Next up, we got a shot of zombie man holding an axe. Again, I really like his facial expression here. The compositing looks really nice. The shading looks good as well. But his axe, well, let's talk about it when we compare it to the manga. Next up, we got the disciple of Atomic Samurai. Again, in this particular shot, there's actually a huge negative space here because it looks a bit awkward when you have that much of a negative space on the bottom right side of this image itself. So what I'm hoping is basically it to be a moving shot. Next up, we got a shot, oh my goodness, mommy. Okay, we got a shot of Super Ass or Do Ass, whatever her name is. Again, looks pretty good. And as for our 6th and final frame, we got a shot of Amaimas, and I'm pretty sure this also takes place at the same spot as the fight earlier. It's just that the light has been turned off or something, but yeah. Alright, now with that being said, let's take a look at each frame one by one. Let's actually analyze it detail by detail and also compare it to the manga. Alright, so as for this first shot of Zombie Man compared to the manga, well, there's only one difference, which is the bullets or like the explosion is not really on the screen. Maybe it will happen in the anime, I'm not entirely sure, but overall I don't really think it's a really bad adaptation of the manga panel itself. The 3D CG background, yes, the background overall made it look better in the anime, so again, I like this frame in particular. Maybe it will be my thumbnail, I'm not sure. Next up, we got a shot of pure blood. Again, compared to the manga, well, obviously in the manga, there isn't really any background, so I guess the anime is pretty much doing the same thing, I guess, I'm not sure, but they could have done like some kind of a background behind. Again, not really a major thing, but it's just a personal issue, I guess. But something that I find pretty interesting is the fact that in the anime, Pure Blood outfit is pretty much being tweaked a bit. Maybe it is for the convenience of the animation team to animate him moving. Hopefully he is going to be moving. But yeah, in that case, this shot looks pretty okay. The only few changes is pretty much the outfit, the overall style of Pure Blood. So yeah. Next up, we got this frame of Zombie Man with his axe. Something that really caught my eye is pretty much his reaction, his facial expression, and how this overall shot is being composited. People are actually complaining about the axe not having that much of a blood, which I agree, since in this particular frame, compared to the manga, you can definitely see that, well, in the manga, it has much more gory, much more blood there. I'm not sure if this is due to censorship or they just missed out that part of the detail. Again, I'm not entirely sure about it, but something that is really cool in my opinion is definitely how they've drawn Zombie Man's face here. His facial expression is literally on point, and I will argue it looks much better in the anime due to the shading and all that. Really well composited shot for Zombie Man overall. But as for the axe, well, let's see how it will turn out in the anime. Maybe it is a censorship, I'm not entirely sure. Next up, let's just take all these 3 preview images and talk about it at once from chapter 101. And well, obviously most of it is pretty much one-to-one to the manga. That makes me think, well, director Shinpei Naga is probably back storyboarding this episode and probably till the finale. Again, nothing much to talk about. As I've said earlier, I have a hunch that this episode will pretty much going to be outsourced. So it's probably going to be the case of episode 8. Hopefully, the first half will probably have some few good cuts, and then the second half will going to be a bit awkward. But yes, everyone, those are basically it. I'm sorry for not uploading for this few days. It's holiday seasons. I've been going for caroling here and there. So yeah, I'm pretty busy these days. Happy holidays for everyone. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.